Incoming chat.
Hello, everyone. I just want to welcome you one more time to Incoming Chat, the podcast of success. And today I have Parry Sondhi, which is the founder of Absolute Creative, a design agency, and Bowties Vala, which we're going to get into more detail of what it is, but it's one of my favorite e-shops available right now. Parry, welcome to the show.
Thank you for inviting me, Marcos.
My pleasure, brother. You're a designer, and I wanted to start hitting the big questions straight away. And the design process, when you get to work with companies, because one of the things you've been doing a lot is branding and helping companies with their branding, right?
Yeah.
And in my opinion, branding is becoming this word that a lot of people who's not related to this, they forget about it, and they don't give the weight enough to a logo or to a slogan or to colors, and they try to forget about the importance of those things. And what's the process that you use in order to sort of remind these people that it's not a stupid process or it's not a useless process, it's something that is very, very needed?
Well, first off, one of my very first thing is always to ask who is the target audience, especially that age group, like who are we hitting? And based upon that, like if companies have some kind of basic, I would say some values or mission which they are trying, or targets which they want to achieve by targeting that particular community or audience, and then I will go ahead with that. So for example, when I started doing my things, so for example with my studio, so I'm always targeting the corporates or startups which are like not at very early stage, but like a little bit
later.
Yeah, because that helps to identify actually what the client is always looking for. And then slowly I build upon those things, and then I go ahead with their marketing and branding.
For people who's not familiarized with this whole process, does it make a big difference to have a target audience of 20 years old to a target audience of 30 years old, for example?
Well, then I have to define everything in a very, very layman's words, like what you are trying to achieve and how you are going to target. And some clients are very, very open to listen to you, but some are like, they don't have any clue what they want to have.
And this, it happens to marketing too. It's like, how do you educate people? How do you actually sort of convince them, like, listen, I am the expert. I'm telling you this because I know how it works.
That's actually very tricky because personally, like when I deal with the clients, I have to be like, put myself in their shoes as well at the same time. Because first thing is, yes, they're going to pay me for the work. And the second thing is like, I want to deliver something which is valuable for them, not like I'm doing the things and they're not going to use it. But what I do before we kick off the project, so like very initial kickoff meeting, I actually drill down the things. I'll filter down all the things which they don't want actually. And that gives a very good idea because they will, we want this, we want it. No, but what you don't want actually. That is very, very kind of tricky and good process, like in terms of finding the needs, what they want and what they don't want. Then you can actually easily distinguish what we're not going to touch and what we're going to focus always. So that helps them, like, and then after a couple of meetings or a couple of brainstorming sessions, we easily figure out.
Because I'm asking you that because I've seen it. I mean, I've been in a few branding projects before, and there's a lot of, I really like this, or I really like this color, and even though it might go completely against the proposal or the values or even the product, right? I mean, but it's always one of the founders or one of the people with influence inside the company to say, but can we do it pink, or can we do it purple, or can you, like?
It's very interesting actually. There are some occasions when client comes to me and then they give me the full creative freedom. Parry, this is the brief we have, but we are open when you're going to present us something, and you can do whatever you fancy. Think like this is your. And then I actually spend more time in brainstorming with myself, like now I can do whatever I want and I'm open to do anything. So that will be altogether something out of box. However, at the same time, if client comes like with their like logo made by someone else and they fancy like I want to have something black or blue or pink or yellow, whatever, then I'm kind of like restricted, but then I open myself to the shades of black and shades of yellow and what are the other things. Maybe I can go like few tones up or few tones down. And then it gives them a good idea, like, okay, now we are in this bracket, we are playing in this bracket, we are safe, we are not crossing the boundaries where we don't need to go. And if I design something and present something in that particular area, that is acceptable. Yeah.
And I mean, we talked in previous shows that culture is something that affects a lot of the way we do business, right? The different countries do business in different ways, and I feel that in design is the same thing. I mean, you work with companies in India, companies in the UK, companies now in Poland, and these three cultures are completely different. So how much do you think culture affects the look of things, the look and feel?
Okay, besides working with different countries, the best thing is when I have more clients from different areas. And actually every client is from different domain as well. Like someone is from healthcare and someone is from banking and someone is altogether creative selling the burgers. It's like, wow, that's something like I'm gonna sell socks. So every client comes with a certain target audience, certain designs. So they already have something pre-programmed in their mind, like they know what they want, but they don't know how they want it. They know what they want. So the only thing is I have to like extract everything from their mind to put it on the visuals, like this is what you're looking for, and then say like yes. So like before coming to here today, I had a brief like they are like it's one of the biggest healthcare companies, Novo Nordisk, and they have some campaign going on now, and they ask me like they want me to design something. It's like pedal to charge.
Okay.
So they have some kind of campaign where they're going to put some bikes which has some blender or like some charging machines on top.
It sounds like they have a very clear image of what they...
But they don't have anything to put it on the campaign for that particular, like for their own brand. So like I know because I have done many projects with them now. So I know what I'll be doing and what I'll be giving, and they know like what they will receive from me. They also have this thing from me. But this is because I have done this a couple of times with them, so I have a very good like understanding of their brand guidelines and everything. But at the same time, when I have someone who has no idea, they have the business, but they don't have anything. So maybe they want to get the menu generated, they want to have the one pager, or maybe some pitch deck, or maybe some sell sheets or white paper or anything, but they have nothing in place. So like they have bits of information everywhere. So maybe they have something black and white, but it is good to start with the black and white. Then I will do the rest of the magic. And they always tell me like,
sort of a starting point.
Yeah, and they always tell me like, that's what we are looking for. We don't want that many things. We are like this. So like based upon their target audience, their demographics, it works like this. It's easy. It's not. I wouldn't say like it's complicated as long as like you filter down the details in the first initial kickoff meetings. It goes like smooth as silk.
But it's not. It sounds like the process requires a lot of questions from the design point. And usually people has this image that the designer is just the person who's going to sit down and draw stuff for you. It's like, there you go. But if you don't ask the right questions, I mean, you have no starting point, right? You have nothing to create from. So do you think it's important to have this sort of business approach of like, okay, let me ask you questions before I even get into the drawing board?
This is actually one of the very essential practice for every project what I do, whichever it is. If they don't have anything, I would say like they will not accept anything from me either, because they have no idea what they're looking for. So my first email is like with set of questions, like 7-8 questions, that's it. And if out of 7 they have like 4 or 5, I'm ready to go. If they don't have, then I give them time, like come back to me with all these answers, so then we can proceed. Because the time I spent over there is much more important than me reworking on the projects and sending the things back and forth. It's absolutely like waste of time. And it depends like how I'm working with the project, like it's a fixed cost project or like on hourly basis they hire me as a consultant, then it works in a different way. But even the practice is same always for all the clients and all types of projects. And many times I get everything in like within 1 hour in the initial meeting, or sometimes they say, okay, we will get back to you. Or someone will say like, okay, we have the logos, we have the brand guidelines, we have everything in vector, we have the content, you have to do this thing. Because we don't have the in-house skill set, so we need
So you
someone
just need
else.
someone to put the vision together.
And it's just like it's amazing, but at the same time, it's what I have personally observed. Many clients, they get the initial things done from somewhere else. Yes, they have opened the company, they want this, but where the blockage is like they don't have anyone to carry on or to improve or to take the things a little bit further down the line as the business is growing. So they're stuck with the initial thing, and they cannot process the things which they needs to be developed or designed in a more efficient way. And then they start looking for some consultants, and then like when they need, they will hire you, and when they don't need, they will just leave it. But then it breaks the whole process.
And it's something that, going back to the beginning, is it just something that companies forget, that after all they need a sort of a brand protector, someone that can say, no, that's not us, or no, yeah, this is us. Let's keep moving forward, and going in that direction too. You mentioned brand books or brand guidelines and stuff, and I remember I was in a previous company that what they really wanted to do, it was, all right, we need the brand book for the company, but they had no reason to have it. It was like, no, every company has a brand book, so we need it. And I know for a lot of companies, having a brand book or guidelines is super important. But how important really is, like, how flexible do you think companies should be with the brand? I mean, and even going further, for example, look at what Dropbox did when they rebrand. Their logo used to be very the whole style, very much illustrations and very kiddish, like childish drawings, and then they switch into a whole pop art. We have colors, we have different vectorized logos, and so they redid everything. So how much you think companies should stick to a style or follow this brand book?
Well, your brand is the mirror of everything, whatever you do, and people always remember you with your signs, with your colors. And for every company, I would say, like, initially they should have like even one page of guideline. At least the fonts are defined, the logos are defined, the colors are defined, and like just very simple. I think you can do everything in one page. I mean, when companies hire the designers or consultants, they can do it for you. Like, just have it. But some companies, they don't do it. They get the logo and job done. After that, they hire different designers at different point of time, which actually breaks up the consistency.
Mess up the whole, exactly.
Yeah. So like, what else do you need? I mean, colors you need the font, your logo, that's it. Like initial, and then like it can be different. For example, if you are in the web, then you need to define the fonts for the web, for the print. What colors you're going to use? Again, it defines like what domain you are in. Are you into fashion, healthcare, banking, IT? Yeah. It depends. Like, so it opens like hell lot of things. But like, I remember there's one company in Canada. I just got their brand guidance, and I was like, wow, they have actually invested in that brand guidance. It's like, if you have that thing, trust me, you can give to any designer, and he will design the same thing.
Exactly what to do.
Yeah, but if they don't have, then like, okay, I have this only logo which is in PSD or in not even in vector, and you cannot do anything. So what the designer has to do, I have to design it again. So it won't be 100% because I don't know which font was used, or if they have edited something, and then company pays again, and there will be a little bit of difference in the fonts or in the design because you cannot have one-to-one or like exact replica. And then they accept it because they are going to change it, and maybe after. They will not change it. It will change eventually when the file will go to 10 different.
It will evolve.
Yeah. Or then I offer them, like, okay, I can do the whole thing which is missing for that particular extra amount. And they're very happy because first they can easily reach out to me, and I have all the assets with me, all the fonts. And actually then at the end of the project, I always zip them everything and I will send them, which they keep like as a Bible. But it is like not always the responsibility, like, but as a designer, I should or every designer should give these things, even if you charge extra, whatever, or you upfront with them for the whole package, I will charge extra.
Now, do you use a lot of psychology of the color in the stuff that you do? Because I remember having a few situations that, I don't know, we will use red, and someone from the design team will come and say, no, that goes like we should be using blue because blue is the calm color, or yellow is the active color, or red is the passion. They need to show passion. Is this something that goes in your process, or like, do you really consider it something important?
I personally love colors, and colors do the magic actually. Okay, black and white is good, and they are colors as well.
Yeah.
But rest of the colors, like boom, like could be fluorescent, yellow, green, pink, magenta, but depends what you're selling. But even if you're selling something and you have the different color, that is also one of the interesting things. It's like odd one out, and like that one stands out always. Like wow. So like yesterday, like I was reading something on the one of the blogs. Like Supreme has this red as their main color, red and white, and someone has opened in China, but I think they don't have this protection about their copyrights and stuff. But they can't do anything. But the person is selling the Supreme tea, Supreme coffee, and everything, which is fine because everyone knows the red and the Supreme. So like, it's identifiable.
They end up benefiting from it anyway.
They're getting benefit, but anyhow, I think they will end up into something, but it's not going to happen. But cutting the long story short, at the same time, there's another brand. It's called 100 Thieves. It's going to launch on, I think, in coming weeks. I would not say coming week, less than week actually. And these guys are into gaming, so into eSports basically. So this guy is he's himself a gamer, he's an entrepreneur now. But what he's only focusing the fashion stuff like t-shirts and the jackets, hoodies, caps. And he's only black. So when other things will evolve in his domain, he may change. But like he has given to his target audience what I'm doing, how are you going to reach out to me? Because he's everywhere. He's like a big shot guy in that particular industry. So like his color, even if you put like any pink or potato brown, it will work because he's a big shot guy. So that he will use this thing. But even if not, if someone is a startup or he doesn't know anything, but he comes up with something like, wow, it has to be like tacky or something, it will work.
It's interesting that you mentioned esports because I remember I had a conversation with is an esport journalist, right? And his position is that esport is going to be like a boys band. I mean, you need to have attitude. It's not just a matter of 5-6 people sitting down playing. You need to have the mean guy. You need to have the funny guy. You need to have the sexy one, and give them like personalities. And he was pushing this to an owner of an esport team into like, if you're going to design your team whole image, it needs to say things about who they are, not more than just the brand. Like, who are the people in the brand? And
what they do actually, what this guy is doing, because he is associated with this industry, and mostly like when we look for the gaming things, they are always very bright colors, like very like they just hit on your face, like red, black, dark blue, dark yellow. So like they are easily identifiable, and their logos as well. So like when people start wearing those things, like especially in this teenage group who are more into gaming, it's like, oh, you have this, so I want to have this. So whole friend circle will have the same t-shirt. When they will walk, it's like they are walking like in a team. And it's like, oh, this group is going. And that's what actually companies are always looking for. The more they will see, the more the customers will buy. And then, oh, wow, this is a trend. And when one company is doing, then second will start following because one is the trendsetter. And then we say like this colors is in the limelight, or like let's start doing fluorescent green. And then people recognize, oh, you're doing like this guy's style. Yeah, but it is selling. Yeah. It is giving the money. You could have also done that. This color was not like prohibited or like restricted anywhere. You could have done that, but you never did that. But now someone else is doing, so it's a trendsetter thing, and they will follow as well. Okay, they may not get that many high volume or whatever, but anyhow, like it's okay. Like when people follow follow the wave, so it's okay. I mean, it's again, you have to start somewhere. And you have to start somewhere, and then eventually change. Like, okay, fashion is different, but when you look on the IT, they stick for the colors for the whole till the end of the company. It's like same. That's usually, and I don't know if you got this before, but sort of in the briefing, it's like, we want to be like these guys, or they always have an example of like the design that they want to be like. So it's really rare that they want to be something so original. Like, no, we don't want to be like anyone else. We want something new. Usually it's like, at least in my experience, usually it's like, we want to be like these other guys. What can you do to make us look like that? Do you sort of encourage that, or you try? It always, because everyone has some references. So like that's what we call Moodboard. They will pick so many things from different brands. So I want to have something from this, something from this, something from that. But even you pick something, the crunch should be, are you gonna able to create something new, even taking the best of the best? For example, the best example can be New Balance. There was New Balance a couple of years ago. They were absolutely out from the market. But when they started coming with different colors and design, New Balance has a market share in the shoe market where there was Nike and Adidas. They are the pioneers. Okay, Reebok is very less, Puma is very less. So when New Balance has more share, and they started people like these colorful shoes. So they came up with so many different ideas, styles. So now they are integrated into this.
And they changed
this shoe business.
Yeah, they changed the target market big time. I remember when I was living in the US, New Balance were the one for the old guy, the retired guy. Was like, all right, is my New Balance.
There's another brand. I'm not sure if you know the Lotto, yeah. Lotto. And it was like it's a very good brand, always associated with the tennis. But now it's gone because they didn't do anything. But again, at the same time, I was reading yesterday about the Puma. They are having the same strategy now. So they don't want to lose the market shares. Yeah. They are coming up with all colorful things and I think
they even have an eSports shoe. I don't know what that means.
And they have to have it. Otherwise, because if you will not accept the changes or the trends, nobody's going to buy the shoe.
Yeah.
And you're going to start losing. They don't have any new variant. They always have the black or white or simple. They don't want to go for that. So in the same manner, Adidas always have this consistency. So when you see the brands and they have this Adidas Originals, they always have the colorful styles, always, from the very beginning. Something unique, something funky, which people want. Actually, they want to be different, when they go out or hang out. It has to be something like, oh, wow, this is cool.
That's good. Yeah.
That's cool. So that's what I want.
Now, there are a lot of companies that when they start, they have no money to have a designer, like an in-house designer or a chief creative officer or whatever, someone who protects the brand or guide the brand.
Mm-hmm.
What would you recommend to early companies or startups that they don't have the money to have one, but at least what can they do in order to have this brand or this brand protection?
In terms of brand protection, my personal suggestion, one must always protect the name first. Because it's such an important thing, because you never know if you're going to hit the market, someone is also watching you and they're going to use your name. And then you will not be able to stop them unless you have something legally protected. It doesn't cost actually much to register your logo with a trademark. It costs maybe less than, I would say, $200. You can register it, depending upon the location. Yeah. But it is very, very important. For example, when I started selling the colors in Poland, and I was the very, very beginner, I would say in first person who was selling colors in proper commercial way. And at the same time, we have this color festivals in Poland. They were kicking off first season, first festival commercially. And when other guy knew I'm also selling, and I knew that he is also selling, we had this, and we had almost same names.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And that was a kind of, and we didn't want to hit each other in terms of the business or anything. We wanted to avoid this price competition and everything because we were only two. But still, we had to have something so that our names are different, our identity is different. And then I did my whole branding. I said, whatever comes later, I don't care. But I want to have my all things sorted out. So from the very beginning, from the logo, the names, the colors, and everything. And now I know, now people know. People have this thing. Where we have to get this thing from this person, from this brand. And they're boom. So this gives actually unique identity. But down the line, couple of years, because when the businesses are small, nobody knows, nobody will notice. The problem happens when you have more clients, when your brand is recognizable. That's where the problem happens. And then there will be 10 other people in the market who will come with the same product, and then the names will be just jumbled everywhere. But the one which stands out with the logo and everything, complete branding, that takes the lead. Because they are like, I sometimes use this term, it's like seasonal frogs.
Oh, yeah.
So they will come out when it's raining, they will jump everywhere, they will spit the water everywhere, and when the rains are done, they are gone. But what they do is they damage everything.
It's true.
And that's what I always want to avoid with, like, not even with my business, but I always tell other people, like, have something stable and keep
and stick to it.
Yeah, and stick to that.
Parry, just to close down our conversation, and we're probably going to have a second episode because there's a lot we can talk about design. But what are your favorite brands? So what's among all the brands, all the stuff that they're doing? What are the 2 or 3 favorite that you recommend people to see what they're doing?
Adidas for sure. That's my really, really personal favorite brand. Then I follow. In terms of brands, what I would like to suggest is like a little bit different. Many big corporates always have the brand books, and I have one of the recent, like, I have this passion to collect the brand books.
Yeah.
So when I find some company or like some company contacts me, I always say, do you have any brand guidance, the brand book, or the lookbooks of the fashion brands? They are amazing. Like Zara, very good example. Okay, they changed recently their logo. Many people have criticized this, like, crap.
I mean, it wasn't a massive change.
But come on, it's a change.
But they got people talking.
But yes, when people started talking, that's where the business starts coming in.
Exactly.
Because there's something in the limelight. And like recently, like I was checking yesterday as well, Levi's, they are changing as well. So if you get sometimes in Thashan, there's a publisher, Thashan, they release very, very unique books about the brand history. And they are releasing now one for Adidas, like it's gonna come in April. So like they have a whole book, like very, very classic book with all the branding history. They are amazing. So I would say like Adidas, Levi's, and Zara, because they are changing the things and keeping the momentum with the sales and the clients and everything.
Man, like I said, I really want to have you in one of the next shows so we can keep talking about design. I just want to thank you for being here today.
Thank you very much.
We're going to link in the comments as well all the stuff they can find your work. And I just want to thank everyone for being with us in another episode of Incoming Chat. See you next time.
Thank you.
We really want to hear from you, so make sure you leave a comment in the comments below and don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you next time.
Incoming Chat.